Hello, hello, salon professionals, and welcome to another video from Salon Savvy. We like to always bring you interesting information that can help you in all aspects of the salon industry. So today's a little bit outside of the box, and I will explain that a little bit later. I'd like to welcome our guest, Brenda Roher. She is from Florida. Welcome, Brenda.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Yay, I'm glad that that we both agree that we can see a fit for this. So without further ado, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so I am, I'm from New York originally, transplanted down to South Florida. So now I am enjoying the nice tropical way of life. I have two children in their 20s that I've left behind in New York, unfortunately.
Okay.
But we'll get into a little bit later on as to I had to move for medical reasons. And I miss them terribly, especially in this COVID world. But, you know, I keep busy. I'm into health and wellness and physical fitness, and I love to keep busy. And I'm also kind of like a pseudo caretaker. So,
okay. All right. Well, it sounds like you're a perfect fit for the salon industry because a lot of us that are all involved, we all kind of wear multiple hats, and seems like we all like to stay really busy. So tell me a little bit about what you want to share with our audience today.
So I have an interesting journey. So like I said, we moved down here for health reasons. My husband is a 4-time heart attack survivor, but a 3-time stroke survivor.
Oh, wow.
Stroke, yeah. And stroke number 2 was really life-changing for us. We had to sell off his businesses and sell our house. And basically we needed to get him out of the Northeast weather. So we came to Florida. And then I went on this journey because I am really truly convinced that his body and the medication that he's been on has just really been destroying him.
And where they do like that, you get one prescription and then like now we have to just add another one because it's causing this side effect and that whole roller coaster.
Exactly. And the problem is, you know, and it's so funny, and quite honestly, it was $8,000 a year in, you know, medication. With him being retired, that's a lot of money. So, but then as I was going through the process of the moving and this and that, you know, I've always fought with my weight, and I've got 5 herniated discs in my spine of my own, and nothing was getting any better. So like here I am, this great tropical paradise, and I am the heaviest I had ever been. And I cannot, no matter what I've tried, Whole30, keto, I gained weight on keto, okay? We're talking 6 months, strict keto, not even alcohol, and I gained 14 pounds. So I was just beyond devastated. I would do juice cleanses and soup cleanses and, you know, intermittent fasting, and nothing was working. So I go on this journey. How am I going to keep him alive and get me healthier? Because as a caretaker and as a wife and as a mom, if we're not rock solid and something happens to me, that whole house of cards is just going to come tumbling down. So I started seeing an acupuncturist, and I always saw a functional neurologist, and, you know, we were doing my blood work and we were doing my hormone levels. And finally, one of them said to me, "We need to do a DNA test."
DNA.
So, okay, great. Where do we do that? I'm game. And he's like, "Oh, I don't know." I said, "Okay, I want to thank you for that." He goes, "Listen, I know you. You're going to find me the best company." He goes, go do it. Like a dog going after a bone. So I come home, and I spent the next like 3-4 weeks Googling. I finally found this company, and I'm like beyond amazed with them. So I call up a good friend of mine, and I'm like, "I really need to talk to you about this." And I show her what I have found, and she says, "That's really funny. I was going to call you today and tell you about it. I just signed up for my test with them yesterday."
Oh, wow.
That was it. So I've ordered the test. So what we do is we test 18 of your most actionable genes. So what does that mean? Because you can't change your DNA, but you can certainly take action on many of them. So when we're talking about actionable, we're talking about heart health, we're talking about cholesterol, blood pressure, weight management, inflammation, your MTHFR, which everybody knows about that crazy gene. And these are all things that we can actually act upon and make our bodies work better. So I really dove into this, the science behind it. Of course, I am not a nutritionist. I am not a science person. but I'm somebody who is passionate about being healthy myself and keeping my husband alive, because we've only been married for 7 years. I really want to keep him.
Yeah.
I still like my husband, you know.
That's great.
So I learned that I inherited the FTO genes, which is the healthy weight management, as well as the gene for inflammation. Well, since I've been taking that, I've been able to reduce the inflammation in my body back to a normal level, which has definitely helped with my pain that I've been suffering. But the best part is I am down 40 pounds.
40 pounds?
Without changing anything. That's the best.
Wow.
So yes, if you actually saw a picture of me from February, I was a little over 200 pounds. And I was a
So you're talking about 40 pounds in this is all 2020 since.
No, I started it in September of last year.
Okay, so
it takes 4 months for your cells to rejuvenate and come back, you know, in a healthier way.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you can't even count the first 4 months.
Oh, okay.
So it took about 6 months.
Okay.
To lose the 40 pounds.
Uh-huh.
I went from a 16 plus, if you know, we all know as women what a plus means, down to like a really comfortable 10. So
good for you.
And then the best part is with my husband, we've taken him off 2 out of his 3 blood pressure medications. And the holy grail is we've taken him off statins for his cholesterol, because those are the evil, meds. And he's still on quite a bit of stuff. I mean, listen, he's got a lot of major issues, but just getting him off of that, the side effects have really started coming down. He's lost some weight. He's able to walk, and do like a mile walk with me now. So it's been a really fascinating journey. And I am so in love with it. I decided after 6 months that I've got to share this information with everybody. I'm going back to work. I'm going to just bring it to the world. So what we do is we take your DNA test, and then we actually have a patented program where we will make you a customized formula based on your DNA down to the micromilligram. So to give you an example, turmeric is a very common herb for inflammation, and I was taking like 250 milligrams. Well, after my DNA test came back, they had me taking only 189 milligrams. And it's really interesting because I was taking too much of a good thing.
I think that's probably super common too.
It's so super common, and it's really
not just with turmeric. I mean, just like, let's say, vitamin D, you're deficient in the winter, but then, during the summer you get a lot of sun, maybe you don't need to take as much and things like that.
Yeah, it's just like you don't know. I mean, this literally is customized for you down to the the micromilligram, and it's all natural. It's all organic, vegan friendly, gluten friendly. There's no side effects you have to worry about. It's just pure healthy nutrition. And one of my customers is a chef at one of the local restaurants here, and she's from Jamaica. And when I introduced this to her, she's like, I just finished taking a nutrition class because I want to be able to cook healthier. I said, so what'd you get out of the class? She goes, food here is horrible. I'm never going to get the nutrition that I need out of the food. Even organic food is not really as organic as we would like it to be. So she says to me, I hate swallowing pills, but bring it on, because I need this nutrition to feel better. And I laughed because here's a chef who took a nutrition class, and the only takeaway she had was, we're never going to get the nutrition we need out of the food. We need to supplement it.
Yeah, it is really too bad that our food source is, that's the bad news of that. It's not what it used to be, however many years ago. That may be a topic for a whole nother show. Really dig in there. But I want to go back to a couple of things that I know would be common questions. So, so this DNA test, how complicated is that for somebody to submit their test?
So it's really simple, actually. We have a kit, and it's got 2 swabs, similar to that of a Q-tip. Swab the inside of your cheek, stick it in an envelope, and we send it off to our lab, which is located in Dallas, Texas. We are 100% committed. We're HIPAA compliant. So you don't even have your name on your DNA sample. It's a barcode that's associated with your name for safety purposes. And we never sell any of your information. It stays within the lab. In fact, after, I believe it 90 days, we actually destroy your DNA sample. And all we do is we keep the information so that if we come out with other products later on and you wanted to have another test done, you do not have to ever re-swab. We'll actually have your information.
Oh, okay.
So people are really very happy with that. And while you're waiting for your results to come in, we actually give you what's called pre-trition, which is a 30-day supply of our base product, which has AC11 in it, which is, of course, another patented formula that we have that has things like frankincense and astaxanthin in it.
Oh, that's hard to say.
Yeah, I have a hard time with that word. I admit it.
I'm not going to try it.
No, don't, because I messed it up too. We're really real here, you know. But it's got like a mild probiotic and prebiotic in it, and what it's doing is it's just getting your body ready for your customized formula.
Mm-hmm.
So you get all of that in the kit, and you take that while you're waiting for your results. And when you get your results, basically you're going to get something that looks like this. And this is actually your DNA breakdown. Wasn't planning on showing that, but I had it sitting there.
It comes in like an 8.5 by 11, right?
It does. I blew that up for display purposes when I do, you know, live shows. If we ever get back out in the world again. It also comes with an entire report. So for every one of the SNPs, as it's called, you get a full breakdown of what illnesses are associated with that SNP and what products, plant-based products, are going to go into your formula. So it's really very thorough. It's very interesting. I mean, when I got my report, I'm going, what does oxidative stress mean? Oh my God, that means I can get Alzheimer's? Well, my family has a lot of that in there, and I'm really happy to know that I did inherit the gene from my mother. So I am very happy to be taking my, you know, my nutrition in hopes that I will not get Alzheimer's.
Right. Being proactive on some of that stuff, you know, that we talk so much about, and this is October, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. That's a huge one now that people really look into and see if they have. So is that an example of something that?
So it is actually in the inflammation gene. It covers a whole host of cancers.
Wow.
You know, inflammation is like one of the worst things.
Right.
Because it depends on how it affects your body and what genes you've gotten and how it reacts. Mm-hmm. So it's really important to keep something like inflammation down. And a lot of people go through life not realizing, like, you have a bad back or you've got an injury and it's not healing. Well, they just don't know why. Well, your body's suffering from inflammation. You know, so we got to get it under control. Why is it that some people have no problems with their weight and other people do? You know, why do some people have anxiety and depression? That's the MTHFR gene. You know, there's so much involved with our genes, but these are all things that we can fix, not necessarily with pharmaceuticals.
Yes.
We can do it with plants and herbs, you know, and food and vegetables, you know. We also do a test for skincare, you know, talking to, you know, a lot of the salon owners. I know that I tested, and it's a given, I've had many rounds of skin cancer. So the report actually will tell us that you're susceptible to that, wrinkles, aging, and, you know, and what to do about it. Okay. You know? So we actually have a skincare serum that also has that AC11 product in there, and I've been using that, and I'm happy with where my skin is at for my age.
Well, excellent. Before we jump into more about that, I want to also, I don't think we've got an opportunity to say what the name of this company is that we're talking about, and then also just a little bit of background on how long has this company been in business, and, you know, just some credibility, I guess, of this said company.
So the name of the company is called UFORIA Science.
Okay.
Our lab is based out of Dallas, Texas, and it is owned by a gentleman named Terry LaCour, who has he's like a multi-billionaire in this health and wellness type industry. The science has been 25 years in the making. And we did come out with the product about 12 years ago, but there was no software and machinery. So it was basically being sold to those that could spend thousands and thousands of dollars on it. And when Terry LaCour came into the picture, he said, no, we got to get this to the masses. This is too great to just save for the people that have money. So he actually got the patent on the software, got the patent on what we call the Nutritionator, or Eugene, who actually the machinery that makes our products, and along with several other patents. And boom, about a little over 2 years ago, we went into full scale sales. And we're growing leaps and bounds all over the country. We're also based in Canada, and we've also now opened up in Australia.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah, and we now have also brought in a skin test and a sports and fitness test. So imagine, like I said, I have a lot of injuries with my back and stuff. This report is actually able to tell you what you're susceptible to: ligament tears, sprains, you know, what type of weightlifting I should do. Like, I'm a big woman, I'm 5'9", and they laugh at me when I don't do more than 5-pound dumbbells at the gym. They're like, you should be doing 10 and 15, you know, you're an athlete, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but you don't understand, if I push harder, I get hurt. Well, now I understand why. I'm susceptible to those types of injuries. And we actually have a platform, computer platform, that actually will give me the right types of exercises to do based on my DNA.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's very interesting.
Okay, so obviously I want to always bring and deliver great information that's going to apply to salon professionals, salon owners, and practitioners. So where do you see this? I mean, I can go off of the obvious reason that, like you had stated earlier on, like, you're kind of the top of the pile. You've got to take care of yourself first, or you're not able to take care of your family and bring your A game to your career and those things. I mean, so that's obvious that this is something that could benefit the masses. But can you kind of hone it down for me a little bit? Like, why do you feel like it is so beneficial could be beneficial to the salon industry specifically?
So there's so many different ways of looking at this. The salon industry is fabulous. People go there.
I agree.
It is. Oh my God. Okay, I still go to New York to get my hair done, okay? I've been living down here almost 4 years, but I am faithful to my hairdresser.
Yes,
Okay?
I had many clients that traveled many miles.
The health end of it, there's also a business end of it for people in the salon industry. And watching what people have gone through with this whole COVID crisis, there's a recurring revenue, because for every month that somebody gets their nutrition, you're getting an income. So to me, it's really like just so great, because you have a captive audience. People are coming into your shop. They're sitting there at the salon, you know, they're getting their hair and their nails and their pedicures and their facials. And, you know, like, imagine saying to somebody who's laying there getting a facial, saying, you know, I've got this DNA test. We can get more information about your skin.
Yeah.
Let's look at the blueprint, you know, the architectural drawing of your face, and let's see what we could do for you.
Right, right.
Because right now it's all a guessing game. If you don't swab, you don't know.
Yeah. What I love about what you just shared is, you know, pre-pandemic, it's something that I always taught and said about, you know, you've got to have multiple streams of income. But it also has to be something that you truly believe in. You know, it can't just be, oh, I'm going to sell ABC, you know, because of the revenue source. It really has to be something that you're passionate about. But now it's gotten really easy for me to convince people how important that is now, right? Because it used to be, I would say, you never know when you're going to get sick, a family member's going to get sick, you're going to be injured. You know, it was like all of those different kinds of things that I would say to people. You don't realize what might take you out of the earning game, right? Hopefully temporarily. Well, now I don't have to go through the rundown, like people get it, and people are out there looking for those other revenues of income that's, to keep them sustainable. We all just got a big, huge lesson in sustainability.
Yes,
And so I see where you're going with this. I could see where it could be a good fit. Like you said, you have a captive audience if you're a hairdresser, it's somebody in your chair, and you're exactly right. Whether it's massage or pedicure or any of those, more and more, the salon is becoming the only personal interaction that people have.
Right.
And I'm probably going to sound like a broken record because people hear me say that all the time, that the power of the salon professional that they possess is unrealized, I think, in so many ways. And it's going to become more and more because it's the only place that people go and share their
Don't you feel like a therapist sometimes?
Oh my gosh, yes. We just don't have the degree, but absolutely. But just like even the weight loss struggles, or I'm trying to recover from this injury, or those are the things that are all shared. And if just we all just want to help people feel better, look better, do better. I mean, if you feel and look better, you do better. That's the power that the salon industry has to change the world, that I feel like is sometimes unrealized. But so I'm just reiterating, I love all of those those thoughts that you're sharing. So
it makes sense. That's the best way to look at it. It just makes sense.
Right.
It's a revenue stream. It's a way for your clients to feel great physically. So now you're going to look good, you're going to feel good, and then it's, again, the additional revenue stream. It's like a no-brainer.
Right. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, I've written down a couple questions, and I could pick your brain about this for a long time because I'm a sponge for information. But let's talk a little bid about how somebody gets some more information, or what would be the first step if they were looking into, you had mentioned that it takes about 4 months, and then, I'm going to put on top of that, it's something that you want to believe in yourself and see the results yourself. Mm-hmm. So what do those steps look like, do you think?
So to get in touch with me is pretty easy, and we can probably put it, in there. My email address, brenda.roher31@gmail.com.
Okay.
I also have a link, is healthycells.euphoriascience.com. And that'll actually give you some resources and some information on the product and the process. And the process is fairly easy. Like I said, you get a swab. You go online, you order it, you get your swab kit, and the swab kit basically comes in a box just like this. I always have them handy. I don't leave home without my swab kit.
Okay.
You'd be surprised. People are like, oh, you have it on you? Swab me right now. Let's do it. So I travel with my swab kit, and you get your report in, and then every month you get your nutrition, which is personalized for you. And basically it's capsules like these. Okay. And what's beautiful about it is, even though there's so many ingredients in there, each capsule has the same product in it, because it's all broken down. So you actually take 10 capsules a day. You can do it however you want, 5 in the morning, 5 at night. My husband actually puts them in like a little, like the little ketchup cups that you get at the restaurants. He puts all 10 in there, and then whenever he gets up for another cup of coffee or another glass of water, he takes 2 throughout the course of the day. So whatever works, as long as you get 10 in, you're good. And then you get that every month, and that's it. All the other stuff that you have on your counter or in your cabinet, gone. Think about how much space you're going to get back in your kitchen.
Yes.
How many of you out there
or your medicine cabinet
say you have an entire shelf in your kitchen just for your supplements? Now it's just one bottle.
Okay. All right, interesting. You know, I'm brainstorming. My brain's always running. So it'd be interesting to see do a recap. You know, if I'm gonna go, I'll go through the steps. I'll do the I'm sorry, where did I write it down here? The pre-trition. I know I've written a couple notes. So and then I would love to do a follow-up thing and see how different hair color I have by then, and see what effects I've seen by then. So
well, I'll tell you what I did was right before I did this, as I had said way back earlier, is I had done a whole blood workup and I had done my hormone level tests.
Yeah, I've done that
me
too.
to doing this. So over the course of the year, I have had follow-up blood work. And I will tell you, like, my inflammation levels went from 215, supposed to be somewhere between 15 and 150. Now, I haven't been tested in probably about 6 months now. But as of 6 months ago, I went all the way down to 108.
Oh, wow.
So I'm in a healthy range. I'm sure by now it's even much lower. My cholesterol went from 225 to 175. My husband's cholesterol is even lower than that now. The pain level has definitely subsided for me, and the weight. I mean, the happiest part for me is the weight. I just look at myself and, you know, I'm back into clothes I haven't worn in probably 15 years.
Wow.
So, but the good news is, like with my husband, he goes every 3 months for blood work, and we're watching the progression of his numbers just coming down and down and down. So the best way to do it is, and that's what I tell a lot of my clients, go for blood work, see where you're at. And then, you know what, let's wait 6 months and check it again.
Yeah. Something else that I love is that it's not, you know, I'm just really so tired of all of the ads that are, you know, overnight success or overnight changes and stuff. And I love that this company isn't trying to say that this is going to happen in a couple of weeks, because we won't dive into a big science class right now, but you did touch a little bit about how, like, it takes time for your cells as they're being created to react, and then that shows up in your...
You go on to my link, the first thing that comes up on the video is 120 days. Okay,
and that is that one of the links that you mentioned?
Yeah, so it's 120 days because your body, listen, it didn't take me 120 days to get fat. And it certainly wasn't going to take 120 days for me to not be fat.
Well, we'll make sure to put all of the links and the information for people to connect and do a little bit of their own training or learning. So just know, everybody, we'll go ahead and share all of that. So you have.
And I'm happy to do some Zoom calls or share the information, do some presentations. I love meeting people and talking to people and just sharing the information.
Great. Oh, that's so nice. That's great. Because if they're like me, you know, I've got to know. I dig deep. I want to know all of the pros and cons and all that. So
I haven't found a con yet.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the best part, because it's natural. There's no side effects.
Yeah. Great. Well, Brenda, this has been really interesting. I thank you so much for coming to share this. I can tell your passion behind it, and that alone, you know, speaks volumes. And we just, anything that can help our salon industry grow and be better, I'm all for it. So again, thank you for being here, and we'll be in touch soon, and it'll be interesting to hear how far this can reach people. So,
well, I thank you so much for your time and having me here, and I look forward to seeing everybody again.
Great. All right. My pleasure. All right, everybody, make sure you take a look at the show notes for more information on the UFORIA science and how it can help and change your life. Thank you so much for attending and tuning in to Be Salon Savvy. It makes all the difference.